Welcome back, and this is a review of the SWIT FM-215HDR Field Monitor we use to produce our video portal. Now if you haven't seen the video, there's a link somewhere you can follow. You can get that out of the way, watch the video first and then come back to this review. Now anyway, we usually say we don't just display all the technical specifications of any product we review because, well, you probably already read that somewhere before you got here, so let's not waste your time. The SWIT FM-215HDR is meant and devised as a field monitor. That's why it's in a case. It has cheese plates on top. You can power it by mains but also by V-mount. You have the protective screen if you want, and you have all the options you might need on set. Very readable, but as you can see here, we also use it in post-production for well, previewing our edit. Now there's something that usually doesn't happen very often to me, but in this case I'm really struggling to find what to say about this monitor, and I was thinking about it, and perhaps that's the thing. Some things just need to do their job, and they do their job, nothing more, nothing less, and they do it excellently. And that is pretty much the case with the SWIT FM-215HDR. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that when you use it on set and you want to use it on a C-stand or something like that, there's a VESA connection on the back of it, so you have a lot of adapters, but you have to check if the adapters can actually support the weight, because the field monitor with the case around it does have quite some weight to it. So make sure your tripod and your VESA adapter actually can support that weight. Now, because it's a field monitor, a lot of the images you're gonna display on the screen are probably coming from a wireless receiver. So it's a very good thing they incorporated the cheese plates on top of it. The only thing you have to remember is that you can't use the D-tap from the V-mount connection on the back for powering your wireless receiver, but that shouldn't be a problem, as most V-mount batteries also have a D-tap connection on the cell, so you just plug it in there and it'll work. But anyway, it's easy enough to connect it with cheese plates. It's a very nice touch. Furthermore, it has all the features you need, and on top of that a 1000 nits screen. So you're ready for HDR, and you're ready for even the brightest day and standing in the brightest day. Something that I noticed, if I compare it to the previous models I had, the graphics are a little more clear and sharp. For instance, the waveform we used quite a lot, obviously, during recording. It's crisper, and it's just easier to see, easier to read off than it used to be. Not only because it's larger, but I don't know, the color and the print makes it just easier discernible over a screen. All the knobs and buttons that are on it are a lot more sturdy than the previous one, which is a nice improvement just as well. It actually does PIP as well, picture in picture as well. We haven't tested that yet, but if you have multiple sources you can actually display them. Oh, and there's also this that we should mention. The SWIT FM-215HDR has actually, as they call it, a near zero delay. So the images are displayed with a delay of less than 0.01 frames, which actually means instantaneous. So it's always nice to know that the screen itself doesn't create an extra delay. But decent size like a 21.5-inch screen really does make your life a lot easier. There's always small things you might have missed on a small screen and you won't have. It always baffles me how some people still stick to 7-inch and 5-inch field monitors if they're on site. I agree, for a one-man band obviously you're not gonna have a production monitor like this, but if you have a somewhat larger production, it is very important, in my opinion, to have a larger screen, because on a 5-inch or a 7-inch there's always something a little bit that a little detail you might have missed or just not have seen right, and that will give you trouble in post-production, as you can imagine. The essence is that it just is a monitor, a reliable monitor that does exactly what it needs to do, and it does so excellently. It seems to be just a tool that you'll be kicking yourself for if you haven't brought it along to any production somewhere.